Hey guys, VTech here, Blueberry Hill again. So here we are, part 3 of Bobcat T190 repairs. So things went pretty good. I put the fuel tank in from the saw the other videos, and here I am just buttoning up the. I found a line that was actually trashed. I'm not sure what the line was called. It's a 6691636. It's a Bobcat SKU on it. It was leaking pretty good. It was actually rubbed through by the throttle rod, and now it's pissing out pretty good. Put that in. I was had my fingers crossed that was all my problems were over. Buttoned everything up, and we're gonna fire up the Bobcat in a little bit and see if things were rolling pretty good. For the most part, they were. The bad part was that once I started the thing up, it was peeing about half as much hydraulic fluid, so there was obviously a secondary leak. It took me a little while to find that one, and further on in the video you're going to see me find that out. So here I am. I'm just buttoning up all the loose ends on the putting a new line in. Whatever the line is, it goes through the, I guess, a cooler on the fan behind the cab down to the pump. It's an outlet line, that's all I know. I'm not sure what the function is, but anyway, it was leaking pretty good. Here I am. I'm buttoning everything up, putting the fuel filler neck back in, making sure everything's legit, doing all my nice wiring tie-ups and stuff so things don't get loose, and I'm gonna start it up and see how things go. So I actually killed the audio for the Bobcat. You can see a little bit of smoke there, so it's actually running. The Kubota motor runs really nice. Can't say anything bad about that. Everything's legit there. I did still see a secondary leak, and I'm going to show you in a second where that leak was. It took me a while to find it. It's between the pump and the motor, so it's kind of inaccessible. I kind of lucked out because it's in a it turned out to be just a test or drain line. Not sure what the line's called. Doesn't matter. It was puking pretty good, and I'll show you what I did to fix it. So several things to show you here. Here's an oil line that's leaking. Not sure why. And here's the video of the actual hydraulic leak. This is the test or drain line from the back part of the pump somewhere. So this is pissing out pretty good. It was actually peeing a constant stream. This is an idle, so under pressure it was coming out pretty good. Here you see me actually take the line out. Well, the line's already out, but that's the damage area. I'm not sure how it got damaged because nothing's there. I took the cap off the other end and put it on the fitting that this was removed from, hoping that would do it. There you see. So the cap is on the that fitting. Everything looked pretty legit. Tightened it all up. Here's additional video of the same thing. Everything was working pretty good. So here's a quick fix how I got here in the first place. The fuel tank puncture. There are welded on plates on the bottom of the chassis. Yay. So in continuation of all the fun, this is at idle. You can see a leak. You can see it dripping pretty good. So there's still a steady stream of hydraulic fluid coming out the bottom of the Bobcat. I still used it for 3 hours roughly. You can see that wisp of hydraulic everywhere on, I guess it's the right side of the Bobcat facing the front. Here's a shot from the back while it's running. That whole area on the right is misted out with hydraulic fluid. I know these things leak, but boy is it aggravating. One of the leaks I think is a problem. There's a cooler right above this, and right where I'm shining the light, there's drips on those two lines. One's going in, one's coming out, and they're actually they're dripping pretty good. But drips don't really interest me too much. Peeing does. So I'm gonna fix the cap that I put in place. Oh, here's another view from the top. Yeah, so kind of crappy video, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, I shot the top. This was all, I cleaned the whole thing up to see all the leaks and everything, all the problems, and this is what I get. I can now see everything that's not right with the Bobcat, so I'm trying to fix it all up. Anyway, more to come. Thanks for watching. Later. So here's a view of the capped line. It seems to be okay, no leaks, so I think we're golden on that one. And I'm shooting up higher up there. On the left, there's another set of leaks. That's from the oil cooler line, which I'm going to have to swap out. So here's a shot from the back of the motor. I'm just looking up, see if what other leaks there are. You can see a little bit from the cylinder. I'm going to tackle that last. So here I'm going to tackle the oil cooler line, and there's a 90-degree fitting. The fitting was kind of expensive, but it took me a while to get that mother out. I had to dismantle the back of the Bobcat. Right here you just see me putting the new line in place so the cooler doesn't drain totally. So here's a shot of the actual fitting I have to take off. That nut right there on that fitting is rusted solid. In order for me to get access to that, I had to undo this line that I'm pointing to. That's on the inside. There's a brace here in the middle as well. So once I dismantle that, the line moved out of the way so I get to it. No matter what I tried, I actually ended up using a sawzall to cut this thing. Here you go. Sawzall, the actual adapter to cut the lock nut off. Yeah, that was actually the easy way to do it. Here you see the line. It's totally rusted. I had to take the oil filter off, of course. I just finished putting new internals in there for the STC clips. New O-ring clip, and there's a hard washer plus another O-ring on the inside of that, so I changed all that out. And the rest of this is just reassembly of the back of the Bobcat, putting the filter housing back on, clipping the other oil line that goes to that filter, and then putting all the other filters adapters back on, the hydraulic lines. I didn't shoot that, but that's pretty normal stuff. So tighten everything up. Once I did this, I actually started it and everything ran pretty good. So here I'm going to tackle what I consider the last leak in the Bobcat. I've done 3 major ones so far. This is the last major one. The cylinder's been leaking pretty good, and it's pissing out the bottom. It's not a small trickle. It's actually a tiny little bit of pee. It kind of loads up, and then when I move around, it just trickles behind the Bobcat. So I'm going to find out that probably when I rebuilt this last year, I might have done something to the O-rings. 3 of them were toast. So you'll see that in a second here. Anyway, to get it out, I had to use a couple of come-alongs and stuff. Pull the cylinder out. I actually, on the bottom of the cylinder, I opened up the hydraulic line so I can get air in there so I can pull the cylinder out because it's hydrolocked, of course. So here are the O-rings. I'm going to pull the old one off. It was an original Bobcat part, and the outside sheath of it kind of fell off and was all over the place. I don't know what happened. There's another O-ring that's still in the Bobcat that's split. That was the very top one on the outside of the head, and there's a flat washer, hard plastic version of the thing I'm putting on right now that was broken also in the original rebuild. So I don't know what I did. I must have done something funny when I snapped the piston back in there. You'll see later when I reinstall all this stuff. Actually, it went together as expected, so I don't think there's any issues this time around. So I didn't show the total disassembly, but I used a big cheater bar to break that big giant nut off. I think it's what is it, 1 5/8 or something like that. So I put the pieces back together, and I used that piece of wood propped against the head so I can just put the nut back on, and then I'm going to get a big cheater bar, big square tube, and hopefully apply what I consider a considerable amount of torque. No idea what it is, but it's a lot. So I got some clean hydraulic fluid, lubed up the seals and everything else, and now I'm going to slide the piston back into the cylinder. The cylinder's still cracked open on the bottom, so I could push it back in. I had to use a come along because it's got enough resistance to it. I couldn't do it by hand. Everything went pretty easy on this part. So now that the piston's in there more, I'm going to put the head, screw it back into the cylinder. And this is, I was really careful here to make sure I didn't mess up the O-rings like I probably did last year. Cinched it down by hand, and I used the plumber's pliers to actually do the rest. And it actually seated much better than prior, so I think I did it correctly. Anyway, I fired it up in a little bit, and no leaks were seen, so yay! I think I did it. Finally, the big leaks are gone. Filled up the hydraulic fluid, everything's rolling, and it's working nice. Alright, so what I don't show you is I actually re-greased this fitting. Re-greased a few others, and then refilled the hydraulic fluid and fired the thing up, and everything was thumbs up. So anyway, job done, I believe. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. Bye.